Hello.
James Young from the rock band Styx calling.
James Young from the rock band Styx. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm pretty good. How about you?
Not too shabby. You have made it halfway through the tour, so life's going pretty good right now, right?
Yeah. I've this ancient body of mine is holding up still.
You know, it's you put so much energy out on stage, people think it's easy, but it's still a great job that you get out there and rock for, hour and a half, 2 hours every night, and you can still walk off stage again under your own power.
Yeah, well, it helps have a desperate need for attention, which I do have, so.
I'm with you, too. I just wasn't good enough to be in a rock band, so radio's where I went. You, as some people probably know if they are big Styx fans, you have a degree in aerospace engineering, so you're one of the smart guys out there. Have you been keeping up with all the cool space stuff happening?
Not really.
Not really? Is that just sort of like you did that in college, and since you've been in a rock band, you don't have to feel smart anymore?
Well, there was my grandfather started a carpenter contracting business when he came from across the water in Europe, and then my dad and a couple of his brothers, then they became general contractors, and so I was being groomed in a way to be involved in a construction business. My dad was actually a very skilled. He could hear a song and he could sit down and play it. And unfortunately, I inherited some of that from him. So the goal was he said, just get your degree, and I don't care what you do. If you're a music bum after that, I don't care. And so I did get a degree in aerospace engineering. That was back in 1967 or something.
So a little ways ago.
A little ways ago.
Well, I tell you what, since you're going to be here in Florida for a few days at least, if you get a chance ever to go check out a rocket launch from Kennedy Space Center, it'll blow your mind. That is one of the coolest things I've ever seen.
Well, I'm huge fan of drag racing, and I've stood with jet dragsters at the starting line, and I've stood with two Top Fuel dragsters taking off right there without ear protection.
That's not a great idea.
No, but it sure is. It's just the thunder and the power turns me into a child.
Well, are you on your own bus, or do a few guys share a bus when you're on the road?
No, we have typically you'll have a bus for the band and a bus for the crew, because somebody's got to set this stuff up, and then we'll have a truck full of gear. And so it's, I don't know, there's the entourages. It varies from week to week depending, but we got 20, 30 people out here.
Well, I was going to say, if the other guys in the band don't mind, if you're coming down I-75 anytime on your way in or out of Florida, in Ocala is the Don Garlits Museum of Drag Racing.
Well, I've stood next to Don Garlits on the track, and Shirley Muldowney, his arch rival, is a dear friend of mine.
So you can do better than the museum. You've been there live.
Well, there's nothing like it. Two Top Fuel dragsters taking off at the same time rock and roll is loud, but it doesn't hold a candle to, 12,000 horsepower or whatever, however much it is, all going off at once.
Do you still keep up with the drag racing today?
No, I realized that if I continue to do it, that my ability to hear pitch when I'm playing guitar might completely disappear. So I still would go. I still could be tempted to the drag races, no doubt at some point. But I don't know. I need these ears.
Yes, they're definitely more important for a guy like you in the band, for sure. I had a podcast that was sponsored by Pennzoil a few years back, and we had Antron Brown and Leah Pruitt and a bunch of guys on our show, so I didn't know if you'd kept up with those drivers or not and with the modern era.
Well, I haven't been to the drag races probably in 15, 20 years, but I was when I was in my 30s, and that's ancient history almost for me. But no, I mean, because I was friends with Shirley and her crew, that I could just walk up, when the car walked up to stage, and then standing between two Top Fuel dragsters taking off at the same time is a sound that'll probably has ruined my ears. But there's for the child in me, it's like, oh, yeah.
It's too bad drag racing is one of the few sports where they can't, motorsports, where they can't take you on kind of a ride along, because that would be the coolest thing ever.
Yes, it would be. Yes, it would be.
Let's switch over to music, since that is something you do much better than drag racing. What was the first song that you remember ever learning? You played multiple instruments, but when you finally picked up the guitar, what was the first song you remember learning on guitar?
Well, the first vinyl LP I bought was Bo Diddley, the Gunslinger.
Ooh.
And so I just learned how to, try and copy Bo Diddley at what he was doing, and did a halfway decent job. And Bo Diddley, the Gunslinger, yeah, he must be. And actually, his daughter has become a dear friend of mine. Bo's passed, but she's coming down to the show here in Tampa in a couple of days.
Oh, that'll be awesome. I didn't. Does she live around here, or this is just she's going to be in the area?
She lives in Florida, but probably 100 miles north.
Okay.
Of where you guys are. Yeah.
Cool. Tommy switches between a lot of different guitars throughout the set, but you quite often have your green Strat on stage most of the time. Is that just like you're a Strat guy? That's your guitar? That's like you're sticking with that the whole time?
Well, Tommy is a guy that he's a little bit better at playing all different kinds of guitars, and I do better if I stick with the one that I brought with me. that is my second child, and I've never had a child, so I guess it's my first real child, and it's I don't have to really look at my hands to know what I'm doing, and that's helpful.
That is definitely helpful. And obviously you're a very talented and accomplished guitarist, but while you're on stage, is there one song in your catalog that you play that's like the most fun for you, where you're just up there going, wow, I'm really good at this one?
Oh, well, our Grand Illusion was our biggest selling vinyl LP, sold 7 million copies back in 1977. And my contribution to that one song was Miss America, and so I can sing and play that one really pretty good, and the crowd sings along from time to time, and the chorus is very simple, and but I just like make it loud and make it strong. Yeah.
I was noticing last time I saw you guys live, I think it was back on the REO Speedwagon and Loverboy tour when you rolled through. If I closed my eyes, it sounded like Lawrence sounds an awful lot like Dennis, and it was just I felt like I could have seen you guys back in, the 80s or the early days of your career, and it just sounded amazing the way you guys are so tight on stage.
Well, Dennis just got tired of the road, and we had met Lawrence Gowan when we were touring Canada, because that's where he was born, and he's really a really great piano talent, and he's a great showman, and he's a great singer. And so not many people are asking where Dennis is, but Lawrence, and now Lawrence's brother actually become our full-time bass player, and they're both kind of crazy, wacky, north of the border Scottish descent, and they know how to have fun. So they're
Are they the kind of guys where you're like, I don't know if I want to go out with you guys tonight after the show? It's too much.
No, they're very actually very health conscious. So I don't know if either one of them drink, but they're really good at sketch comedy on impromptu sketch comedy in the dressing room or whatever. when they're running around naked. So how's that sound?
I was about to say you should launch your own TikTok channel and show that, but if they're running around naked, maybe not.
Oh boy!
Speaking of the dressing room, is there something that you personally have on the rider for backstage that's essential? You know, like singers will often have tea and honey, and obviously you sing on some of the songs. Is that, or do you have something personally for you backstage that you have to have before every show?
Well, there's certain things that I will take some sort of not narcotic. I'll take three. I'll take three Advil, and that's kind of it's not as strong as an anti-inflammatory as some of the prescription ones might be, but they go down easy and they sit on my stomach okay, and I'll have eat some pizza. Have a slice of pizza before I get out there. That greases up the valves and get out there.
I do have to say it almost made me think I should edit that part out and just say James says he takes whatever narcotic before he goes out on stage.
Whatever I can legally or illegal get my hands on. No.
Hey, you know what? The cops are never backstage, so it doesn't matter, right?
Wrong, but
moving on to something that is legal. Styx and Voodoo Brewing dropped the Oh Mama beer back in 2021. Were you involved in the brewing, the process of that? Obviously, do you guys get cases of the stuff out there? If not even that you drink, really, but do you have Styx beer on ice somewhere?
Tommy used to drink heavily, and now he doesn't drink at all. I'll have a beer or two after the show, and I have a little. I sort of love coming to love vodka tonics, but those I don't have too many of, and we're entitled to take the edge off at the end of the day. Because a lot of times we're running like crazy to pack up, get the stuff going, and get everybody in the vehicles. Let's get to where we have to go, and so it's better to sort of not do. Not get too in love with alcohol.
It's easy to do. I know that's for sure. I know that I think you guys have the 21st off, which is Sunday, because your next gig, I believe, is the 23rd in
23rd in New Jersey. Yeah.
Yeah. So we got a little special deal with Bruce, Michael, and Lewis going on Sunday at a craft brewery here in Tampa, where they're going to hang out and play for some fans. And I'm going to extend the invitation if you'd like to come out and have a few vodka tonics or a craft brew at our place. Be happy to have you swing by. Won't even tell anybody you're there. We'll just see if they can figure it out.
All right. Well, I will spread the word, and because we do have a number, 2-3 days after the Tampa show, so we'll see if we can scrape up a few contributors. Yes.
All right. Well, you could definitely spend your time off in worse places than Tampa, Florida, where we have the best beaches over here in Clearwater. So take advantage of it if you get a chance to. And thank you again for calling in, JY. It's a great, good time always talking to you, my friend. And we will see you on Saturday, buddy.
Looking forward to it.
Have a good one, my friend.
You too. Take care.